Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're live. Mr. Trey. So welcome to another episode of Sin Filtro, unapologetically Sin Filtro. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Yeah.
This is our second. I am totally fanning again because we have the one and only.
Fabiola Ramirez. No, I feel
Why
like
would you say it like that? Like, Fabiola Ramirez.
y'all
Yeah,
hyping me up. I'm
I
like, oh my
know.
God.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what. I don't know if you know this. Actually, no, you don't, because I haven't told you. But the podcast we filmed has been the one that got the most views out of all of my podcasts, right, Joey?
Oh,
So we've been keeping
nice.
track on the numbers, and
Good.
right, we're not there
Yeah.
yet. We're not there
No
yet.
wonder he had me
But
back.
hey, sponsors. We're looking for sponsors, and yeah. So we actually outdid the other one that I had was long standing for about 6 months, and we actually beat it by about 100 views.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm pretty proud of
Well, I
that.
think this was going to beat it because you see to my right.
I know.
I mean,
So
come
okay,
on.
so introduce your partners. How about that?
Yes, no, I'm so happy we have Taylor and Yvette with us with Doyenne Barbell Studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very excited that they could join us because I want them to kind of share a little bit of like the gym that we own and a little bit of, our coming together and just kind of what we're doing for Fresno here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Taylor, thank you so much for being with us. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having us. My name is Taylor Branham, and I'm the one of the co-owners of Doyenne Barbell Studio, as well as one of the lead coaches. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And what's your Instagram handle if
It's
people want to follow
Taylor.
you?
It's at Taylor Winter, and my Winter's actually my middle name, so I just
Okay.
go by.
Because
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you why is it
yeah,
Taylor Winter?
yeah. I just use my first and middle name just to kind of keep my Instagram away from my
Yeah.
full name.
Or is it
But
because you're ice cold like the winter?
Oh,
Oh, I don't know. We're about to find out.
we're about to find
We're about to
out
find out.
what it's all about. If
Okay.
it's
So
a filter or
Taylor,
not.
so introduce your partner next to you.
This is my beautiful best friend, as well as the founder of Doyenne Barbell Studio. This is Yvette.
Okay. Thank you, Vaya. Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I founded Doyenne Barbell Studio in oh my god, and during COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
So and here we are, 5 years later, with these two beautiful ladies.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna start from that side then, since you are the OG over there. Tell us how Doyenne Barbell came to. How did you have the dream? How did you have the vision? Did you like sleep on it one day? Were you working out? I mean, seriously. Yeah.
So no, yeah, I was working out. So I have 4 kids. I had my last child, my daughter, and I definitely like lost myself after like where you're just like you're in a relationship, you bought your first home, you're kind of at home, you just had your baby, and you're kind of like, okay, this is my life. Like I'm just meant to be a mom. I'm I'm at this place in life where like I'm overweight. I don't see it's really hard. I'm struggling. I'm in a place I've never been before. So it's like I remember sitting there and thinking like, is this my life? This is it. Like this is
Yeesh.
what gonna close to being 30 or gonna be 30 at that moment. And I'm like, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be at. And then I had a moment where I was like, no, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I didn't
Do you
want
think
to.
it was a little bit of a postpartum?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
I suffered with postpartum throughout my pregnancies, but that last one was rough because I think I was like at home. I didn't have a job at that time, and so I started working out, lost some weight, and through actually social media and my weight loss journey, I decided to like kind of capture it.
Uh-huh.
I've met women, and I've kind of built myself from there. And then I met other women who had an activewear line that I ended up taking over. So everything kind of just, I always say, like, everything has been God led, and it's nothing I ever searched for. It's stuff that's always came to me. So I always believe that where we're at is like endless because I've never felt like we've had to go and chase anything. I felt like it's always kept coming as long as we kept pursuing, our purpose.
Yeah,
And
I think
reaching.
it's a little bit different chasing and pursuing,
Mhm.
right? So when did you first have it in your heart to actually go from just the thought of working out or just working out to taking it to something like storefront?
So, I was actually looking for a place for my activewear. So the business was built on the activewear.
Okay.
I was able to, and during COVID, I was able to like build a big audience through it, and a customer base. So when I was looking for a space for the activewear. I found a space that was a little bit bigger than what I expected,
Mm-hmm.
and was like, oh, we should just throw a gym in here. And then it slowly just became an all women's gym because we didn't want boys there. It's like we just needed our own space.
Yeah.
His eyes
Yeah.
twitching right
No,
now.
no, it, no,
Why are
it,
boys
it
not
honestly
allowed?
it is, but I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because I do have that question in here. So,
Well,
yeah.
it was like, I did go back and forth on what I wanted to do with it, but we catered to women. It was always women. It was women who loved the idea of it just being a place where they can all come together. We the more you talk to women, you kind of realize like, hey, you're not alone. We're all in the same place. We're all in the same journey. We're all trying to better ourselves, right? So when you have women coming together and building that community, we don't want boys there.
No, I don't know. Well, she told me, she accused me last episode of having machista tendencies, and so
I was just saying what Marisol. I was just repeating what Marisol said. That is it.
so okay, so I think that's even that. So I know that there are also other gyms that are just women, and to me it's actually kind of cool to see that concept from you guys because sometimes I feel like the worst enemy for a girl sometimes is another girl. Like I feel like there's like a lot of like hate between girls sometimes. I see that, but I don't see that in your guys' gym.
Yeah,
Why
no,
is
we
that?
try to not allow that for sure. No, we don't try to allow that. I
It's in
think
the
it.
terms and conditions.
Really?
Yeah, it is in terms and
Honestly,
conditions. Yeah.
it's just the community that we've built. It's just like
Mhm.
we've have learned, we know, or we have been able to attract the right women.
Nice.
And if somebody doesn't come in there and have that same attitude on their own, they tend to find their way out.
Yeah.
So it's just the same women that kind of just come in together. Like we're all there for the same reason, and so it's really easy to kind of get along with each other.
Gotcha.
It's just natural.
Yeah, and so this is
God-led.
yeah,
It really
and so
is.
this is your first, second, third gym. How many gyms are there?
No, so the first facility we had was like 1,200 square foot, and then we didn't have enough space when we were in there. We had
Okay.
like girls like crowding into the corners and elbow to elbow. And we're like, okay, we need a bigger facility. So then we have the new space now, and then we just expanded on it. So now, yeah.
Oh, so it's bigger now
So now it's a
than.
little bigger, yeah.
Oh wow! Even then, when the when you guys had your ribbon cutting ceremony?
That was the ribbon cutting of the expansion.
That was-
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I was like, oh my goodness, that's because that's
You're like, you're moving fast.
Yeah, for sure. So, how many active members do you guys have now in your community?
We have over 200 members at our gym. We have like a consistently about 200 members that are active monthly, and then we above that is our challenges that we host at the gym. So during our challenges, we can bring in about 50 plus extra members.
Okay.
And the
cool.
challenges are cool. Taylor can talk more about it, but the
All
challenges is like kind of like the thing that attracts a lot of people is just being able to change your body. Yeah.
Okay. So, Taylor, tell us about those challenges. And actually, you guys got one going on today?
It's starting soon.
Okay.
Monday? Yeah. Monday we have our newest one. It's our body recomp challenge, and this one's different than the previous ones we've done. Typically, we do like fat loss challenges. We don't necessarily focus on weight loss. We're actually more about body fat percentage. We have a really amazing body scanner that will give our members and clients not only a measurement breakdown of their whole body composition, but also like a nutrition profile. And we build them custom meal plans. So it's basically almost like we basically coach you through 6 to 8 weeks, whatever the challenge length is, and really help you with all of the daily habits, the daily routine, the hands-on coaches in the classes, and the custom meal plan to really help women figure out how to do this and do it long term. Because a lot of people want to go through challenges and they think, oh, I'm going to get results in 6 weeks and then that's it. But realistically, it's a lifestyle. And so what we teach in those challenges is not just here's how you can lose body fat in 6 weeks, but how do you maintain this for 6 weeks and then continue on. And that's where it kind of leads them into a membership, because they find the comfortability, the classes, the resources, the support super beneficial. And that's what differentiates us from a regular gym, because you can go buy a gym membership anywhere and go in and out like a regular customer, and nobody's going to ask you, how are you doing? Do you need help? How's your meal plan? Do you need help with that movement? Whereas we're constantly with our customer base and with our members, and that is like coachable moments that they get constantly. So you're not just a regular like member. It's very much a community in our space. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
pretty
more than a
cool.
gym. I will
Yeah,
tell you
no,
that.
for sure.
No.
'Cause I mean, I gotta say that when I was first going to the gym, like I'd always start and then I'd quit, right? It kind of like there was and one of the things was that I was really big on checking the scale. Like if I didn't see the results on the scale, it was like total
It
down.
must not be working.
Yeah, exactly, right. So then you'd give up or whatever, and so you guys definitely have all the help that you guys can provide to somebody. So, so that what else comes included in your membership besides that stuff? The community. What else? You guys gonna have something for not Thanksgiving, for Halloween, right?
Oh, we
Oh,
just
That
had
just
last night.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, tell us. Okay,
We do
okay,
events all the time with the
okay.
community. So this one's like a Halloween party that we do every year, and we bring the women together, and just we like to create moments and events where it steps outside of just the fitness and the losing weight, lifting, and actually brings the community together, like bonding over something. Our Thanksgiving and Christmases are probably the most popular because we make it a whole activity. Everyone gets together, members get to meet for the first time or bring friends to the gym for the first time, and it goes back to like what you said, like people think that women can be catty, but really I think women just need a space where they feel safe, and then you realize there is a community of women that are desperately seeking these connections. I think it's just fear. Like there's a lot of trauma with female relationships, especially growing up in high school or whatnot in your past. Like a lot of women carry trauma, and so we are those faces in that space. It's like, no, come, whether you're a member or not, women can come to our Thanksgiving, our Christmases, Halloweens. We do all kinds of stuff. Workouts in the park. We just did a free workout outside for Bras for a Cause for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it was free, and we collected donations and actually helped them get closer to their donation goal. So, but at the same time, it bridges all these bonds that typically these women would never meet or bond in any other way except through Doyenne. So it's like our favorite part of the experience.
Yeah,
Like the
and
members.
the energy is
Yeah,
just
it's
contagious.
unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen people become best friends because of Doyenne, and that's just the best part, to find that community and be seen with somebody and just have somebody that you can share this experience with.
That's pretty badass, and I could totally see and feel the energy and the positivity that you bring, the passion. I think that's the
Yes.
key word, passion, that you bring to Diane. So she had the vision, Yvette had the vision, and so how does Taylor come after that? What? Because I heard the story a little bit on your ribbon cutting, but tell us that story and tell us how did you even started going to the gym? I know you told me a little story. I don't know if that's the story that started it all. But
It actually
yeah,
is. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I had struggled with my weight a lot growing up. Like it was on and off. I didn't even really think that I had a problem with my weight until like middle school, high school when I started being bullied really bad. And I was like, oh, okay, like I'm different. I'm like the tallest girl in my grade. I was always like curvier and thicker. And it wasn't really a problem until I got older. And I remember telling myself I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight, but it just like I never knew how. I never knew the steps. I knew it was about healthy eating, but I didn't always have the best examples of that in my life. My mom really struggled with her body image and her eating habits, so I picked up on those, and it wasn't until I was in my mid 20s that we went on a trip to Great America, and I was with my sister and my best friend, and I was at my heaviest at this time. And I remember kind of being nervous to ride the rides, but not really thinking anything of it. Like I was just waiting in line. We get on the ride, we sit down, and they're checking everybody's seats, and we're just kind of waiting for an abnormally long amount of time. And then I'm sitting in my own seat. My sister and my best friend are sitting in front of me, and the attendant comes up and she's like, "Excuse me, you need to get off the ride." And I'm like,
Like that?
yeah, it's super rude. Like I was so confused because I thought, oh, is something wrong? And she's like, the ride's not going to start until you get off. You don't fit. It doesn't work.
Oh
And it was just
wow.
so like it just brushed me off. So it was so hurtful. I kind of felt like I wasn't even there. And the worst part about that is not only do you have to stand up, but there's a whole line of people watching you stand up and watching you get off, and you are automatically aware of how different you look and how big. And it just crushed me. I couldn't even get on the rest of the rides. I was so sad the rest of the day, and I just remember telling myself like, this is not going to happen again. You're not going to go through this again. You're going to go home and you're going to do XYZ, and you're never going to allow your weight to stop you from doing anything. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know if it was just my breaking point or whatnot, but I literally went home I think it was the next day, and went in my fridge like they do on those TV shows, and they throw all the food in the trash bag. Like I went crazy. But it was really the wake up call I needed, not necessarily like it wasn't even my health and wellness or I need to be skinny. It was like I will not let my weight stop me from living my life. And so that when I had that, I just immediately went to Planet Fitness, got a $10 membership at the time, and I started showing up. And at first I didn't know what I was doing. I went on Google and I was like, how do you lose 100 pounds, right? And it obviously you have to eat a certain amount of food, you need to diet, you need to go to the gym, but I just kind of like locked in a way I had never done before. I started eating healthy. I didn't even know how to cook healthy, but I was like, okay, here's broccoli, chicken, and rice. Let's just do that. Like I took baby steps.
Yeah.
And then after, so I think it wasn't even until 4 to 6 months in that I was like, I'm not seeing any progress. Like, why am I doing this? I'm just gonna end up with loose skin. I'm never gonna see a difference. The scale would not move. And then I think it was halfway through, it went from 300 pounds to 275 to 250 to 240 and it started dropping. And I was like, oh my gosh, but I wasn't really seeing the progress. And then I just started to document my story because I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to try and take videos. I'm going to try. And after a year and 6 months, I had finally lost 120 pounds. I went from a size 26 to a size 10.
Oh wow.
And I'd never, like, I used to shop at Torrid, the plus size stores. I could never find regular clothes in a normal store. So the first time I ever fit into like a size 14, I cried because I was like, what? Like, I've never ever been this size. It was a super emotional journey and it was very lonely. Like, I was so isolated. I kind of cut off the world. I was in my own bubble. I really like separated myself from a lot of bad influences and like, even people going out to dinner and whatnot, I wouldn't go because I was like, I need to stay serious. And I remember telling myself, if after 1 year, you put 100% effort in, and you can honestly say you put 100% effort in and nothing happens, you can get surgery. That was my
Right.
agreement with myself, but I had to put 100% in. And that's what I even tell my clients to this day. If you know you're putting in 80%, then you can't say you tried 100%. You have to go 100. So a year and 6 months later, I lost 120 pounds. I started documenting my journey on Instagram and I started trying to look for a sense of like relatability and community because I did feel so alone at Planet Fitness. And I needed activewear. I needed to find this change in my life. And it was the first time I had been fit enough to wear activewear. So I remember, I don't even know how I stumbled upon her. Oh, it was through a friend. I had met a friend who had shown me Doyenne activewear. And I was like, what is Doyenne activewear? And I looked at her Instagram and the representation of like regular women with regular bodies, like beautiful bodies, but like real women, and like this sense of community was so different than all of the other activewear brands where it's just like trying to sell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I felt this connection and she was doing a pop-up at a studio and I was like, oh my God, I should go. And so I decided I was gonna go, but I sat outside the event for like 15 minutes. Like, I can't go in there. Like, I'm not a fit girl like them. Like, I don't work out like them. Like, I'm not like I don't know what I'm doing here. And I just remember looking in the rearview mirror and being like, you can do this. Like, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to do it. It makes me emotional thinking about it. But I got out of the car and I went in and she was on the microphone just talking and I was like, oh, I love this girl. I love her energy. I love her story. I love what she stands for. I just love, and she just was like, so, this aura just radiated from her. And I was like, I love this. And I remember we connected so much that at the end she was like, here's some free leggings and here's a shirt. And she gave me all this stuff. And I was like, wow. Like, I put it on the next day. I took a picture on Instagram and I tagged her. And that was the first time we had like connected. And then I don't even know how much long after that did we like connect again for the photo shoot or whatnot.
So maybe a little while after.
Yeah, it was during COVID. She did a photo shoot and she said, hey, I want you to be in my photo shoot for Doyenne Activewear. I was like, you want me to be in the photo shoot? Like, all of the things. And so eventually one day she came to me and I had quietly gotten certified. I had quietly sought my personal training certificate because I was like, you know what? I want to learn everything about this. I had so many women coming to me asking me, how do I lose weight? How do I do this? And I was just like, you know what? I don't feel right unless I know what I need to know to help these women, right? Like, I don't have a bachelor's degree or master's in kinesiology, but I can go and get certified to give answers properly. So I did that, but then when I got certified, I got too shy to promote it. I was like, no, nobody's going to want to train with me with loose skin. Nobody's going to want to train with me. I don't like, what do I think I'm doing? And she found out that became secretly certified. And she came to me and she said, I'm starting this gym and I want you to be the first trainer in my gym and I'm
Oh
going to
wow.
help you grow and we're going to do this together. And I was just like, what? Like, she's always been a come with me type of woman. And that's what she's honestly inspired me from the beginning. It's never been about like her or her profit or her gain or her like growth. It's always about how many women can I bring and help and influence? How many women can I help them grow? And that was like, that I just knew that no matter what her dream was, I was gonna help her. Like, we just connected so much that I was like, if she wants to help me, I'm gonna help her. And then together we started glute camp. And she's like, you're gonna help teach this class. We're gonna do glute camp. We're gonna get resistance bands. And from this empty space with no equipment, we started glute camp, and it just grew and grew and grew till, like she said, the bodies were stuffed together. 30 girls would come to glute camp, and it didn't matter how much little space they had, they would come. And it was just something that we had built that I wanted to create an experience that I would have wanted as a big girl, right? Like, I wanted something that felt safe. I wanted something that was different. I wanted something that I could physically do, but also made me feel strong enough and made me feel like an athlete. So we just took glute camp and we just went with it, and it just really grew our members. And we, before we knew it, we were like, we need a bigger space because these classes are too big, and got the new space. And ever since then, like, it's been amazing. And then officially in December of 2023, I became co-owner because I just knew that this is everything to me. Her dream has always been my dream, and I've always wanted to help her get to where she's at. And so I was like, you know what? I'm in this with you. We're doing this together. And then we got our third person, and it just like, it's beautiful. Like, my old self would have never ever thought, would have never thought that like that start of that journey would bring me to this community. And that's why it's so special. And I do think back to the times where women were cruel to me, or I had bad experiences with women, but it never stopped me from getting here. And so that's what I think it is down to. It's down to the women who lead with that intention and purpose of, I'm bringing a community together, and then you build that community, and it happens on its own. And you realize there's so many other women that feel like you do, or need that space, or need that support. So everything's been God sent. It's a blessing. Yeah.
I mean, you can understand.
Yeah. No,
person,
definitely,
so,
definitely.
Like, she really did take Doyenne to like different like levels. You just knew her like aura was just always was there, and compassion, and allowed women to be vulnerable. And she created, just the space for women. Like, I want to give her that credit because she does create this. She works directly with the women in our facility at Glute Camp, and they love Glute Camp. Glute Camp, it's our popular class, so she is like the heart of it. Initially, because she creates that atmosphere that they're looking for and they want to come back to. So I mean, you can totally see it, even just
No,
right now.
definitely. And I appreciate, again, this is, I mean, it's kind of funny what you're saying. We attract, right, the things that we want to do. And we were actually just talking before we actually started recording about how we wanted to impact lives, right? And so this podcast is also part of that. Where not not every episode is about fitness, not every episode is about breakups and heartaches, but it could also be, I don't know, other things, professional things. I mean, I had Tony Herrera, he's a radio personality here in Fresno. He's one of the pioneers, I would say. And he let fame get to him, and it destroyed his family, right? And I'm sure you're familiar with that, being on air, how certain fame could get to your head, and it leads you the wrong way if you're not linked with the correct person or team. I think that this is perfect. So now that we got the 2 out of the 3 links, tell us how Fabby comes
came
into
in.
this.
Yeah.
So
Well, she was just actually talking about Glute Camp. That is how I got into it.
Okay.
So actually, coincidentally, I was at that ribbon cutting of that location that they're at right now. I was there at that ribbon cutting. I went to take a picture for the city of Fresno because we post stuff at the city of Fresno social media about ribbon cuttings all the time. So I knew nothing about them. I had never met them in my life. I went to the event, took a picture, and then I approached them and I said I was with the city, that we were going to post this, and it kind of just led that. But I followed them on social media, and I kept seeing her glute camp class, and I was like, oh my God, that looks like fun. That looks like a great time. And she reached out that if I wanted to go to her class, I was like, absolutely, I'll be there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that's how it started. I started going to her glute camp class, and oh my God, yes, yeah. And see, at that point, I didn't even know Yvette. Like, I knew her because I was there at the ribbon cutting. Like, I saw her, but I didn't actually have a conversation with her at all. And yeah, I just started going to the glute camp classes and working out and just kind of being part of it, just showing up, kind of hanging out, just.
She did more than that.
Yeah?
She
Oh.
was
Tell us.
like our cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, she just came out of nowhere and was like, yes, Doyenne, I love Doyenne. She was like, what do you guys need? Do you need help with this? We want to record you. She just like came in, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl's amazing. Like, where did she come from? Like,
Truly.
you weren't just hanging out, girl. You were like,
And
you just had
you
so
were
much
so-
love for the gym.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
I mean, when you find
Is
a
this real
place.
life?
No, but when you find a place
Yeah.
that are like amazing, like they were, when you find a place where, like you said, women were just, they were so supportive and they were so loving, they were so kind, they had such an energy. And you know, when you can read vibes, you
Oh,
can read when
absolutely.
someone's being serious and genuine and when someone's not. And with them, it was like everything about it was just so amazing. And I was like, I want to be part of this. Like, I want, this is going to change lives and this is making a difference. And so for me, it was like, it felt right just to help them. I mean, I didn't want anything in return. I just wanted to support them because I believed in their vision. And so to me, it was just like, I believe in them and I'm here to support them no matter whatever it is. Yeah.
That's pretty
So
awesome. So what's next for Doyenne Barbell? What's next for Yvette? What's next for Taylor? What's next for Fabby?
I can start with that. For me, I think the biggest thing is, you know, a lot of times she's the trainer, so she's very like hands-on training, working with a lot of them. And so that's a gift that she has. And we've kind of all established like our thing. My thing is like getting Doyenne like these kinds of things, like interviews, promotions, marketing, tools, events, giving back to the community. Because I always say a business will go as far as the people who manage it. And I don't want us to just be a place where it's like, oh yeah, that female gym where it's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't want that vision. I want people to be like, oh yeah, Doyenne Barbell Studio, that's a community. Those are girls that are always giving back. They're volunteering. They're being part of events. Yeah, I saw them the other day at, you know, raising money for Bras for a Cause, for cancer awareness. Like, I really just want to be a staple in the community of a group of women who are willing to give back and are not selfish with what they do. And so that's kind of what the role that I want to do is just kind of how can we get ourselves out there in a professional, giving, caring way that later in the future, when you think of Doyenne, you think of those ladies who, you know, have given back and not just to the community, but to the females who need it the most. Because a lot of times, you know, whether it's postpartum depression, whether it's things that you've gone through, whatever it is that you've gone through, I think it's very important to have that community. I just hung out with my best friends earlier today. I had a brunch, and it just coming together always reminds me, like, you know, life can be so crappy sometimes, or situations in life can be hard. But when you have your girls with you, it makes it all worth it. It makes it all better. Like, you know, one of them said, you know, my love life may be, you know, sucky, but my soulmates, which are my
That's all right. Yeah,
friends.
no filter. You could say it. You could say it. Tú dale gas. Aquí,
But
aquí
when
nos
she
vale.
said that, it's true. It's like, you know, we always look for that soulmate in our partners, but it's like your friends can be your soulmates. I mean,
Yeah.
they're people that you find, and sometimes we try to find it with our partner and say like, oh, this is my person that's going to listen to me. And no, sometimes your best friends are. And so to be able to, like, you know, see them as best friends and now build a gym together, and me joining that force, it just like makes it so much more powerful.
So I gotta throw this in there. I'm gonna kind of throw you a little curveball. What was glute camp? A little bit of a revenge body type of thing. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I might have been hyping her up.
I don't know.
Hey, don't come to me saying I broke it, because I will turn around and help
Yeah.
you turn into a woman you didn't even realize you were going to turn into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
She's
Okay.
incredible. She was so driven. I mean, she loved the first class and she kept coming back. And I remember looking and being like, "Girl, something's happening. Like, you're growing. It's looking good."
Oh my God.
It was amazing, because I remember you started with like 10 pounds on each side, and then you just got.
I was so scared. I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, that's too heavy for me.
She had a whole.
And she kept adding and adding and adding and adding before
So-
I knew it. You
So
know,
I actually do have a little extra gift, and I'm gonna bring a little parenthesis because that's why I asked you if it was gonna be your birthday.
Oh.
So we no, there's another one right there, bro. It's on the freezer. It's on the freezer, yeah. So
it's gonna be all
we got an
exploded
extra
now.
one. We got an extra one. So it's gonna be your birthday.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not share
Yeah.
how old.
Yeah. What? I thought it was 25, no?
Yeah,
25, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. You should have said 22.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. So that one's gonna be for Fabby. So we're gonna let her
Oh
open
my
it up.
God.
And
Oh
then,
my God.
should
What is this?
Princess.
Oh,
Yeah.
princess.
Cute.
Yeah. So
You
let
didn't
me,
shake it, right? You're not going to
no,
set
no,
me
no,
up for
don't shake it.
failure
No,
right
no, no.
here, okay?
So,
Let's see. Let's open it right here.
¿la abres o te ayudo?
I think I know how.
Hey, last time I was like, I was hoping it'd be a balls for her. Because I didn't want her to break her nails. And she's like, oh, you can totally do it without breaking your nails. So,
I taught you. I taught you how to do it. Oh my goodness. Look at that. If I would have known, man. You didn't shake it, right?
no, I didn't. Are you guys okay?
I'm good right now. Thank you. You promise you didn't shake
I
it.
promise I didn't shake it.
Oh God.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
No, I'm not. You can't even do it. I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, no, I can't.
I should give it to you that.
Blue camp, not arm camp.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Her booty
Yeah,
probably could open it.
yeah, but not my hands. There you go. All right.
Yes.
All right.
So, Bobby,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, why are we holding two?
You're holding mine.
Oh.
Right there. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, that one's for you. Maybe I should have topped it off.
Well, we're gonna finish this bottle. So,
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
Who's driving today? Did you guys come in one car, or did you guys come in multiples?
Well, it's okay. I'll call my boyfriend to come pick me up. We'll be okay.
Oh, wait. Okay. So last episode, there was no boyfriend, and now we have a boyfriend.
Now
Great.
we have.
Since we made a parenthesis, just go ahead and tell us about.
Oh my God.
How did
one
this whole thing come
more.
about? You know, we want some tea too. You're not just
Oh,
champagne.
You want some filtro
Yeah.
information over here. You know, when you pray to God and you put your
okay.
existence out there and you say, you know, God, I'm ready for what's next, and you accept everything, it just kind of happens. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Celebrating 22. This is really good. Thank you. Thank you.
I said extra dry. Porque me dijiste que you like dry and bitter. It's okay. So I don't know if you guys watched last episode, but Fabby swears she's dry and bitter.
That
Exactly.
she is?
Yeah.
Girl.
That she said exactly.
Girl. The version of you think you project, the version of you
That you actually are. Yeah, I know that is true. That is true. I do always kind of keep up, you know, from, but those who know me and like know my personality. Yeah, even she sometimes gets surprised. She's like, "Did she just say that?"
She just
And I'm
said
like, "Oh
that,
no, it's because you're getting to know me."
Yes, and I love it. I love it. And that's the beauty of Doyenne, too. It's a safe
We'll be
space.
like-
with
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
They'll be
Come out.
texting us and we'll be cackling like, you see what that said?
Yeah. So I gotta tell you guys that Marisol, I'm not sure if you guys saw, you met Marisol when I was there last time, right?
Yeah.
But she really did me really dirty on a TikTok that she posted, and let me show you guys what she actually did to me. And it's gonna go into our next question, but here we go. So
Fresno ladies, if you're tired of the weirdos checking you
Oh my God.
That's funny. She just hands to you.
yeah, totally,
Oh,
totally,
That's a great TikTok girl, but
right, Jay? If you're tired of the weirdos, and I'm waving high, like really. So yeah, so tell us.
I didn't even know she did that. That is
Oh my
so
God.
cute.
Yeah, that was
Such a
literally the
cute
first
video.
thing I noticed that she did. I was like, "Oh my god, if you're tired of the weirdos," and I'm like waving
In the
high.
background.
Yeah,
Did you know
literally.
that she was what? That's what she was gonna do?
No, I did not know that's what she was gonna do.
Wow, well.
you know,
Aw.
she could have picked a different spot to say, or to put the video right, but
Yeah,
no, she put me right
yeah.
there.
Well.
So I promise you, I'm not a weirdo, and
Um,
so I'll tell you, Marisol, we have Chuy here, who is, her fiance, and we were at Don Pepe's actually one day, and she was like, "Hey, can you go get me some salsa and some limones?" And I was like, "Nah, dude, you go get it yourself," And she was like, "Dude, it's because like all these guys just like staring at me, and and I felt so uncomfortable." And like for the first time ever, like because Marisol's like a sister to me, I kind of realized I was like, "Oh shit, like." That's pretty fucked up, that she would have to feel that way, just getting up to go get salsa and limones for her tacos.
Yeah.
Like, so is that kind of the reason why Doyenne is a girls or women's gym only, or does it go deeper than that?
It's definitely deeper. It's just there's so many different reasons why women are seeking women only gyms, and it's all going to be their own personal experience. I know I personally had gym anxiety where I would walk right out so many times to the gym. I just could not step foot. Even till this day, it doesn't matter how long I've been doing this, having my own business, I still, and people will go out there and they'll say that gym anxiety isn't real, but I don't know, when I go in there, my heart starts beating really fast.
Really?
And I don't want to be there.
For what
But-
particular reason?
Huh?
For what particular reason?
I think there's many factors, maybe like in my past experience of like.
Yeah, and if you don't want to talk about it, it's totally fine. But just the same way that you feel that anxiety, I know that there's probably others that feel that anxiety.
100%.
And I'll say, for example, when you were talking about clothing and you were talking about fitting stuff,
Oh, yeah.
like that's something that for me personally, like I think I didn't get to buy, or I wasn't able to go into Express and buy something there until like I lost like about 80 pounds. And I always walk by Express and I love their shirts and I love their designs, but I knew that there was nothing there that could actually fit me. Even the shirts that actually said 2X, I knew that they were like a super reduced 2X. So, I know that, just how you're related, just saying, being able to be vulnerable and that stuff, it definitely helps others. So I do totally respect if you don't want to say it, but I know that we can impact other people's lives sometimes when we're being vulnerable. For example, like I mean, gosh, you could go even deeper than that. Like even going to church, right? Like because that's where I really feel like my that's where my heart really starts to pump.
Trauma. Everybody has trauma somewhere.
I mean, I go into church and I don't feel worthy, right? And we've all made mistakes, right? And so that's something that for me is really like, oh my gosh, right? Like it's just like you just start pumping, but we can skip that part if you don't feel comfortable
No,
thinking about that.
It's fine. I think when I'm not thinking about it, so when it comes up, those feelings come up. It's like, oh, I don't
For sure,
know.
for sure.
But it's just, oh man,
I
it
think
goes real deep. I think she's the only person that's I've ever shared this to.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Her story, and like you said, that's why it's a personal thing. Like not everyone, I guess, is willing to be unfiltered, but when you think about the daily experience women have, like she said, I'm so scared to go just get salsa and whatever. Like it's a daily experience as a woman to be fearful for your life going to the gas station. Like
For
if
sure.
you turn on the news,
For sure.
you want, like there's so many things, and I think the scarier thing even about social media nowadays is the gym anxiety too. You see examples all the time. Someone's filming a larger person working out and making fun of the way that they're working out, and it gets posted to social media. That was my biggest fear
Wow.
happening in the gym, because I didn't want anyone to laugh at me for not doing an exercise right, or criticize me for being on a machine that they didn't feel I should be on that long. Like there's so many factors in a regular gym that they don't police, they don't watch over those kinds of things, and you have people nowadays recording you. So
Yeah.
that's like one layer. But when you think about the personal experiences we have as individuals with relationships or in public, or even growing up, like I know I have my very personal experiences that like I don't feel comfortable working out around men. The last time I worked out at a gym with men around, I was getting stared at trying to do a movement, and it was making me so uncomfortable that I was like, no, I'm going back to Doyenne. Like
Yeah.
it's not even where I'm at in my fitness career. Like I don't still feel comfortable working around certain men, because there's men that do respect you. Obviously,
Right.
there's men that support everything we do.
Yeah.
There's we have connections with men that we very much value, but there's a certain population of human beings that isn't on that level as everybody else.
And not just like we're not just talking about like men in general,
Right.
but there are other girls who are not nice,
Not
Yeah.
and so
supportive of
and
what
not
we do at all.
supportive. And like she said, somebody can be filming you for doing something wrong. So that's the difference that our gym has, is that because it is a private gym, we do hold all of our clients to a higher standard. And if they're not following the rules that we have, then we have the right to refuse service to them. And that's what makes it a safe place, is because if we ever encounter something like that, we have the right to refuse service to them. And we want that place to be a safe place. And we're not just talking about like, oh, we don't want any men around or anything. It doesn't make us in that. It's not even anything to do about the men. It's
Yeah.
just about a safe place. A lot of it too, a lot of the women who do go to the gym, either they feel more comfortable. It's a religion thing that they can't
Right.
work out around men.
Mhm.
It's something about, I just don't want my husband to feel any type of way, so I feel safe. I mean, there's so many reasons
One of
why.
the only places in the city where you have a plethora of women coaches with different backgrounds and experiences. We have a hormone health coach. We have a girl that teaches yoga. We have a girl that does calisthenics. We have a combat cardio self-defense coach. You name it, we have it, and we can give you a resource, and it's women. I can't tell you, no shade to the male coaches out there, but I've worked with male coaches that they don't understand what women's perspective is in fitness, right? And that's no shade, no tea, but it's like that's what we're here to do, is be that resource that women are desperately seeking, and the answers to their questions when it comes to this experience.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys the same thing that I told Marisol that day, because again, I see Marisol so much as my sister that I think that was the first time, and I honestly I felt guilty because I think that at some point in my life I might have been that person or that guy who would turn around and look at a girl and be like, whatever, right? It's there. But I that was the first time that I actually understood it differently, and I said, Mari, I'm so sorry that you feel that way, because my gender can't keep their eyes to themselves, or or don't understand that other people feel uncomfortable in that sense. So so on behalf of men, I'd like to apologize to you ladies
You don't even
if
have to
you
do
guys
it.
ever felt uncomfortable, made feel uncomfortable because somebody was staring at you, specifically a guy. And I'll say it, like that's something that men need to be mature about, right? And also, and I do appreciate you guys saying about girls or other women, because we were just talking about that before we started recording, right? Sometimes I feel like a girl is sometimes a girl's worst enemy because I think sometimes there are people, and we'll call in general, there are people that will like you as long, when you're doing good, as long as you're not doing better than them, right? And I feel like sometimes there is that jealousy. I don't know if that's the correct word, where somebody might be looking fitter than the next person, and all of a sudden there's that kind of like conflict of like, well, no, I want to look better than that person. So and even I there's 8 real estate agents that are under my leadership here, and I tell them all that there's room at the top for everybody. Like
Yes.
there's not one person that's gonna make it everybody, and I just feel that we could all be number one,
Exactly.
right?
And we really preach that, I think, at the gym. It's like about just like, it's not, there are gyms that have super, super fit women who look amazing and are competing in, bikini pageants and stuff. And that's totally fine. And our gym is open for everyone. Those who have never even lifted a single weight in their life, those who probably have never even exercised, to those who are in competitions. Like, we do have a very different range of women, and it's a safe place for every single one. And I think a lot of girls also like it, like to have that range of the ones that don't know what they're doing, and then girls who really do know what they're doing, because you kind of start sharing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not doing a workout right, and you're like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable, but you know what, that girl that I always see at this time, she knows how to do it, I'm gonna ask her. And it's so welcoming in there that you can do that.
Yeah.
You can ask for help, you can kind of just learn from those who are in there. And it's a place where girls should feel safe and feel like they can grow and learn and feel like they have a community, a friendship. There, my sister-in-law just moved to Fresno, and she's like, I haven't met anyone, I don't have any friends. And I said, join the gym and I'm sure you will. And so, she's like, oh, the other day I met so and so, and I see her kind of starting to meet people, and it's like, that's what's important. It's like you start meeting people there too.
Yeah.
One of the most favorite things I've ever heard from one of our members is during our last 6-week challenge. I asked her, how's the challenge going? How do you like it? And she told me, I was at class today and the coach said to us that no matter what level we're at, we're all athletes. And it made me feel so good because you guys have been having us do stuff that I've never done before and I never thought I could do. And I really do feel that now. Like, I feel like I can. And this is somebody who had just started with us through a challenge. So all of the things that we were throwing at her were so brand new. But for her to say from our coach that she was an athlete and that she could do all these things was so beautiful. And that's exactly what the purpose is. It's, like Fab said, there's gyms out there with amazingly experienced, like talented, like completely successful, like bodybuilders, athletes, and that's amazing. And we need that representation. That's a beautiful thing to see, that you can get to that level of like eliteness with your body. But the women that we serve are women like myself that started, like herself, women that are seeking this different kind of like journey and growth, and also making it about, bottom line is, women need to be healthy. Like, our community will not be healthy if the mothers are not healthy, if the babies are not healthy, if the experience of that is not healthy. So it goes down to creating a space where women can pursue that health without the stressors of a regular gym, a crowded gym, a gym with perverted people, because it doesn't matter men or women, like everyone's preyed upon. There's all different kinds of human beings out there that make people feel unsafe. And so it's not a place of like we're saying no to certain people. It's, here's a space for you if that's overwhelming to you, you know what I mean? And so also to allow these women to see themselves as athletes, or that they can become athletes, or that they can do things greater than themselves. I know that I never thought I would ever be a trainer, let alone teaching classes, let alone owning a gym. Like, that was never anything on my being bingo card for life. Like, I truly didn't even think I had a purpose in life. I remember being so depressed
Wow.
before I lost weight, thinking, God, like, show me what my purpose is. And like, I went to very dark places in my head thinking I had no purpose. And it was a very, very hard place to be. But now seeing what that, like, honesty about my journey and that vulnerability, and then connecting me with her and her changing my life, and then meeting her and creating this like unit of like, this is our purpose, our passion, this is what we want to do together. That's very rare to find people that are like, you know, let's do this together and let's lead and build women with us and bring all these coaches with us. Because not only do we have a place for our members, but we've helped our coaches grow. Like, our coaches have picked up clients, they have classes, they get paid very well, they get like everything that they need from us as female coaches, we provide to them. And that's another thing, is like, women can see themselves being coaches. Stephanie, one of our most amazing coaches, came to us at like the beginning of her journey, did a whole challenge, won a year membership, and she just continued to elevate and grow and pick up on things and wanted to learn. And now she leads one of our next popular class in the whole gym. And it's because those girls see her as one of themselves, and they're like, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's the whole purpose of it. Is it's not about we're better, we're denying people, this isn't for you, this is for everyone, and you can do this, and we're going to grow. And from that, Doyenne will expand and Doyenne will grow. And Doyenne by definition means, we haven't said this yet, a woman who is most respected. So that is literally the basis of everything. It's a respect for ourselves as women, it's a respect for our community, and it's demanding that respect from the community that you may perceive it as denying men, but this is, you go to any gym in this town and men will have a place, but where is women's place? It's that pink little tiny room in there with the aerobics class. That's not what we're here to do. Women are having barbells in their hand, they're getting stronger, they're understanding what the concept is, why they need to be stronger, why they lift that weight, why they eat that way. And it's not about like, you know, a fitness, it's not about being fit, it's literally about educating our community and creating community. These moms are going to go home and raise their kids better, they're going to be more confident, they're going to be stronger, they're not going to take shit from nobody. And that's the whole point, that's the purpose. So yeah, I can go on and on.
Oh, she's so
passionate.
passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Honestly, I think, because like I told you right now, just you're not.
You almost want to go work out already, huh?
I mean, hey, I got my boots on, pero you know, like
glute camp.
yeah,
We gotta get you.
shit. No, yeah, I think glutes, yeah, no me
I
salen,
train
yeah.
men too.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
Yeah?
I don't discriminate. I'll train men too. You just can't come into Doyenne, but I'll go out there.
But we'll go so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have men.
Okay.
And it's men. You know, they're amazing, and they, like I said, we have
She's like,
amazing,
"They're amazing,"
male
like-
supporters. We do. We have amazing male supporters. But this is for the girls, and this is like, this
Yeah.
is
yeah,
what it is.
and make it clear. Make it be known. We're not, because we're an all-female gym, we're men haters. We
Yeah,
love men.
no.
We all have men in our lives, and we absolutely love
Right.
them. So
No, but
definitely
I
not.
think this is pretty cool. I mean, honestly, like I said, hearing your passion, hearing all of you guys three, your passion that you guys have for this space and creating it, I think it's amazing.
No, it
You know,
is.
It really
It
is. And it's amazing that you guys guard it too, because it needs to be guarded.
Yeah.
You know, it can't just be, like you said, just anybody, right? So, and like you said, you're not that discriminating, but you're just, you know, keeping that nucleus strong as it could possibly be.
And we don't expect everyone to understand, because it's
that's
different.
okay.
It's a different experience for everyone. But I will say, just on a personal level, when I met them and I went into the gym, I was at the lowest point that I've ever been in my life, where I literally, you know, she was joking earlier about the revenge body and all that. I mean, really, I was in the lowest time of my life, where felt like I just didn't know what was next and what my life was going to go. I was between like, do I sell my house? Do I move out to Florida? Like, I was already in a very
Really?
difficult place that many people don't even know. And it is crazy how I just met her, and she just, the gym and event and boot camp and everything just gave me this like hope. It gave me a safe place. It gave me a purpose. It gave me something to do after work too.
Right.
Because a lot of times it was like, you know, sometimes when you want to stay away from reality, it's like you need an escape, and it was a healthy escape. And so that's just my experience of Doyenne coming to my life at a point where I just really needed a purpose and something in my life. And so that's just me, let alone
that's
all the other women.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I honestly want to thank you ladies for being like vulnerable that way, because I think I don't know if you noticed, but on the last episode, there was a moment where I was just staring at you, because your story was speaking to me. So it was speaking to my life. And right now, I'm listening to both of you guys. You know, I never got kicked out of a roller coaster ride, but I would check the weight before I even got on the line. And so then I would say like, oh no, I'm tired. Like, if I knew that I was over, I'd say, you know what, go ahead and get on this one. I'll go get, I'll wait for you guys. I'm just super tired, even though I really wanted to get on, right? And so that was my thing. Or going into the clothing store, I said, you know what, like no, they don't have anything I like, which was bullshit. There was
Right.
definitely plenty of stuff that I wanted to wear. It just didn't fit into it. And right now you're sharing that you were at your lowest. You're speaking to me too because there have been times where if somebody pushed me off a cliff, I wouldn't even try to hold on, and that's just the truth. And so being able to share these things with the public, and that it's okay to feel that way. Sometimes you need to feel those things because that could push you to another level. And I feel like that's what you guys have talked right now. That something great came out of a really low point.
For all
And
three of us. I mean,
exactly,
really, it was a low
absolutely,
point for her,
absolutely.
became a high point. It was a low point for her, became a high point. I was at the lowest where I ever been, and then Doyenne came into her life. It really has been for all three of us.
And that's amazing. Thank you guys for sharing that. So in order to finish, usually I have one guest, but now I have three. So from that low point, and where you guys are now, what would Yvette share? What would Taylor share? What would Fabi share with somebody, just anybody, and if somebody's going through X, Y, or Z, um, what would you say to encourage them? And where do you see yourself as a person and with Doyenne in the near future? So we'll start that way if it's okay with you.
Yeah, just love yourself a little more, like just I feel like if you love yourself, everything else will follow, like the confidence, the courage, to kind of push through and overcome. And so just like love yourself a little bit more. And then like for the future, I mean, I have big plans.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what happens with Doyenne. I mean, when people ask me about 5 years plan, I'm like, yeah, I feel like, well, we want to kind of copy and paste this place and kind of expand. That's really the goal. I would love to do that. But right now it's just like, this new team and getting all the finishing touches done and, work from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Taylor.
Oh my gosh, what would I go back and tell my old self if I could? Because that's who I feel like I'm really speaking to when I say that. I would definitely say, like, kind of what you had said, but like choose yourself and choose yourself 100%. I know we talk about like revenge body or like, I'm going to do this for this, but I really do believe it's like when you envision your future in your life and what you want to look like I would always envision what is the best version and happiest version of Taylor look like, or who am I idolizing and how does she live her life so I can get there. And so it was like I really needed to step away from my family, my friends, everything, even men, because I think when you try to lose weight, you desperately are seeking validation from somewhere, whether it's relationships. Men were not, I didn't date men. I didn't have like, there was nothing that I didn't have good experiences with men, right? Like I had a man tell me to my face, I don't date fat bitches, like
Oh,
to my
wow.
face, right?
Wow.
So those experiences would have easily driven anyone, fueled them, but to me it was like, no, this is for me. So what I would tell anyone is choose yourself and do it 100%, and don't let fear hold you back. Like if I could go back and push myself from the shoulders and say, go do it, like I would definitely do that. It's scary, but failure is part of the process, or like it's just a learning lesson. And when you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, to be taught, to be coachable, to learn, to know that you maybe don't all have all the answers, but you will figure it out. That's going 100%. So yeah, choose yourself and go 100%. That's my advice.
Wow. Man, can we keep going? I mean, honestly, I know you guys got
I
other things to
know.
do, but yeah. So okay. So what about how does Taylor see herself
Oh.
in the near future?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, obviously Doyenne is everything to me and I'm locked in. So I would love for us to continue to expand. I think our member experience and the experience of our classes is desperately important to me and something that I really love to do. I keep thinking like, will I ever step back and just focus on, but I think that experience for our members and our classes and whatnot is what really drives me. Like when the women tell me how they feel or whatnot. So my hope is that in the next 5 years, we just continue to grow. We reach more women. We have more opportunities to work with the community like we've had, and like really expand. Like I've always had a dream of having glute camp be at Chick Chansey Park and have a huge glute camp and
Oh, wow.
whatnot.
Hey, why
That's the
not?
dream I've always had.
Why
So,
not?
yeah,
Yeah.
so I would love to like have things like that where we just have huge events that bring the community together and represent something that these women can see themselves doing or being a part of, because like I don't think I think the opportunities for us are endless in many ways. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could you imagine just like 500 girls like all
I've
at
seen it for years
all
in
on the
my
baseball
head.
field,
Yeah.
like just like
Oh, it'd be amazing.
and you could be up on the screen,
Right?
like
Like it would be so
honestly, you
cool.
said it and I was like, boom, like
It'd
that
be
would
so
be
cool.
pretty
So,
badass. Yeah, absolutely.
manifesting.
Yeah, I think I know somebody who might know some people, so she might
Hey,
be able to make it
that would
happen.
be amazing.
And if I can be a part of it in any way, by all means, you guys can honestly count on me for that. Like, we're gonna talk about a little bit about that, but we'll go to Fabi. So
I'll start with the question about future because that's kind of what we're leading from. But I think the biggest thing is just like they said, just see it grow and more than anything, continue to change lives. I think that that's like the biggest purpose, like touch more lives, touch more people, and really just expand, grow, make a difference, get ourselves a name for Doyenne and what we represent and what we really truly believe in, but also have women have that confidence in themselves and feel comfortable in their own skin and their body. And that ties back to what, they all kind of said something like love yourself and it's huge. We undermine what that really means. And I think as human beings, we put so much pressure on ourselves all the time about like, I have to be good. I have to be perfect. I have to be, there for everyone. We want to be there for everyone, but then we put ourselves to the side or sometimes last. And I think one thing that lately I've been kind of trying to focus is like, what makes me happy? What brings me true, genuine joy? And I think if we all kind of stopped at the end of the night and went over the things that brought us joy that day and then really focus on things that, if that brings me joy, this is what I'm going to continue doing, then I think life would be so much easier for everyone.
Absolutely.
Because we would want to do what brings us happiness. And I think a lot of times we get caught up with everything else that we put ourselves and our happiness and our joy last. And so my advice to anyone would be like, put your joy and your happiness first before anything else, and yourself first. Everything else will lead. And never be afraid to do time for you. And I know that's hard to say, especially for those who are moms, right? Like you got to put the kids and the husband and everybody else first before yourself. But like, even if it's that 1 hour at the gym working out, like that's you time. And so really try to have that. That's what I would tell people. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Can I also just add that, like, I think all three of us, the reason we connect so much is we all come from a place of not knowing what the future was going to hold, but doing something anyways. Like, you know what I mean? We were at our lowest. We all took a risk on something and we just kept following like that purpose for ourselves. So if we could like just tell everyone, like, follow that purpose. You never know what door is going to open if you continue to just go with that purpose, whatever it is, even if it's just going to the gym. Like, I never would have thought the gym would lead me to my team, my women, my community.
Right.
So yeah, people need to, whatever that dream is, whatever that purpose is, like, take the risk, take the leaps, let the doors happen and put it in God's hands. Like, it really like will lead you to places you would never, and people you never thought you would ever cross paths with.
So if I could sum it up, it would sound something like choose yourself, be happy, and bring others with you.
Yeah. Oh.
Bring
Yeah.
others with you. I like that ending. Bring others with you. Yeah, too.
Yeah, I'll charge you for that slogan later. See you at the invoice. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on the podcast, and I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. And salud. Let's go.
Yeah. Salud.
Cheers, Doyenne.
Cheers to. Yeah.
You
What are
tengo que
you
echarle- I
cheering
know.
to? You already finished it.